These animals ask people for help, and here's why. Hello, lovely YouTube family. Welcome back to the Curiosity Lounge. In today's videos, we are going to talk about some animals who are asking people for help and the reasons why they are doing so. Before we start, I would want you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. Animals get into trouble all the time, and even minor obstacles for us can become fatal for them. Sometimes they just can't make it without us. So today we're showing you some animals that ask for help once. In the end, you won't be able to remain indifferent. Here we begin. Deer. Trust me, it's far from ideal, but hey, at least you're safe. This way, honey badgers can usually get out of anything, but not this time. This guy was lucky enough to be spotted by some passing rangers. He was extremely exhausted and accepted any help they would give. Look at how he grabs onto the blanket to be pulled out at last. Yes, this man responded to a call for help and saw an unfortunate deer stuck in a rift in the ground. He couldn't just leave the animal to suffer, so he broke off a whole chunk of earth to save it. Bird. This bird ended up wedged in this guy's car, and the man was willing to damage the car to save it. What's even more amazing is that it could still fly after the ordeal, but now he's with his mother, so he'll be okay. Cat. How this cat ended up in this ravine is a mystery, but it definitely couldn't turn back. Some people lowered a box to assist, and it instantly knew what to do. Sloth. This sloth was too far from shore, and in the middle of a heavy boat traffic area, he had to ask these guys for help, and they gave him a ride to shore on the breeze. The rescue was the fastest thing he had ever experienced. He's waving to you, so you shouldn't feel like a fish out of water. Dog. This dog's eyes are full of despair because the poor thing knows this is the end for her. But help is on the way. Look how she reaches out for her rescuer, and now her eyes are full of joy. Shark. This girl saw a small shark stuck between rocks. The girl freed the shark and hugged it like a kitten to calm it down, while she carried it over the rocks to open water to set her free. Ah, beautiful job. And this shark made it to shore looking for help from people. This guy immobilized her so that someone else could pull a huge fish hook from her mouth. Then the rescuers helped the shark return to the ocean. Is she gratefully waving them goodbye? Killer whale. Killer whales are considered the most dangerous marine predators on the planet, but sometimes they also need human help. The situation's really serious. 4 of them got into shallow water off the coast of the Russian island of Sakhalin, but failed to get out of there in time. The ice formed a deadly trap. 3 animals were rescued almost immediately, but things were far more challenging when it came to 20-foot Willie. Rescuers spent the whole night in the cold and poured water on the poor fellow. Dog. And this dog was grabbed by a python and immediately dragged under the water, without so much as a chance to squeal. Fortunately, these guys saw the poor fellow from shore and immediately began fighting to save him. Seems like these guys were trained by John Wick himself. Puma. This unlikely puma was driven into a tree by a dog and, as it turned out, was very afraid of heights. This fireman has never had to rescue this kind of cat from a tree. Elephant. We are now in Kenya, where 2 animal rescue organizations rushed to rescue because this fellow got into trouble. The baby elephant stuck in a muddy pond is only 5 days old. Apparently his mother simply couldn't keep track of the restless baby. By the way, she was nearby. They had to chase her away so that she wouldn't interfere with the rescue operation. Fortunately, everything went well and the rescuers got a little dirty, but not as much as this guy. And here is the reunion scene. I want to hear what the roar of gratitude sounds like. Anaconda. This anaconda is entangled in fishing nets. Watch how it wraps around this guy's arm. Out of fear that the man would leave it, the snake got so tangled up that the man needed to recruit the help of everyone around. This is probably the best example of how we can accomplish anything together. Dog. This dog found his best friend ever. This poor little guy wasn't making any sound, but he was lucky enough to be spotted by a firefighter in a burned down house. This dog tried to swim across the other side where people were, but he got carried away by the strong current. And then this man sprung into action without hesitation. An oxygen mask saved this puppy's life. Zebra. A baby zebra was stranded in a tree, and rescuers had to push the branches apart with their hands to save him. After he was freed, the young foal could barely stand on his own, but now he's with his mother, so he'll be okay. Giraffe. This giraffe fell into a pool and struggled to get out on its own, but once it had exhausted all of its strength, it finally surrendered itself into the hands of kind people. This had to be the most incredible rescue mission you've ever seen. Leopard. This leopard fell into an 8-meter well and definitely could not have been able to get out on his own, but this man was not afraid to risk his own life to save the dangerous predator. Mamba. These guys are in grave danger because under the hood is an extremely venomous black mamba. Just look at how huge it is. It was a very dangerous rescue, but without their help, this snake would not have survived. Bobcat. A young bobcat got caught in a trap and was ready to fight to the death. The poor thing clearly had no idea that this guy had come to save it. Once freed from the trap, the animal can hardly believe that it's just being allowed to walk away. Pig. This poor baby pig struggled to stay afloat and had already begun to sink, but this man wouldn't let the little piglet die. The young animal was immediately taken to a shelter. Just look at its happy little face. Hakuna Matata. Kitten. This biker miraculously noticed a 3-week-old kitten frozen with fear on the road. The man immediately got the little one out of harm's way and put it on his bike. Now the young cat will have the coolest owner ever. Lynx. This lynx got caught in a trap and was skeptical about people until this guy rescued it at his own risk. It really looks like now the cat's showing some gratitude. Moose. This moose spent many hours on icy water waiting for help from people. The ice had formed so tightly around the animal that it had to be cut with a chainsaw to allow the giant to get out and get back on its feet. Puppy. There you go. Upon hearing the desperate cries of this puppy, this man rushed to help without a moment's hesitation. He literally snatched the puppy from an alligator's jaws without even dropping his cigar. Little buddy is all right now. Pups. These 3 coyote pups got tangled in a soccer net and could hardly breathe or move. Their mother was helpless. An animal control officer had to cut the pups out of the mesh. Leopard. This dehydrated leopard got his head stuck in a metal vessel, so it just sat in the middle of the road, hoping to receive help from people. Look at how the predator bravely tolerates handling while being rescued. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.